All right, so we're going from the Flash movie to another video game movie, this time Resident Evil. Now, Resident Evil movies have been a staple of terrible cinema for going over a decade now, with the Paul W.S. Anderson and what's her name, the girl from The Fifth Element?
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, Mila Jovovich. And it sounds like they are now going to reboot these movies and hopefully make them good, but who knows. Another story from Screen Rant, and this is from Andrew Marshall, headline exclusive. New Resident Evil movie from 47 Meters Down director in development. Now, for those of you who haven't seen 47 Meters Down, it's a underwater shark horror movie that my girlfriend absolutely loved. So I guess this is good news, considering the quality of the people making the previous Resident Evil movies. A new Resident Evil movie is in development from Johan Roberts, the director of 47 Meters Down and its sequel, and The Strangers Pray at Night, the last installment of the zombie killing franchise. The definitively titled Resident Evil: The Final Chapter was released in January of 2017. Despite video game adaptations generally getting written off before they've even gotten anywhere, and with good cause, the Resident Evil saga managed to buck the trend. Although generally receiving mixed to negative reviews from critics, each installment was popular enough with audiences to turn enough of a profit that more were made, unfortunately. It wasn't until 15 years and 6 movies later when franchise navigator Paul W.S. Anderson decided to call it a day in favor of writing and directing an adaptation of RPG series Monster Hunter. Oh, dear God. I'm sorry, I'm not a Paul W.S. Anderson fan. I've never liked his stuff. He did one decent movie, which was Event Horizon. But other than that, I haven't liked anything this guy's done. The subject of the new Resident Evil movie came up when we asked Roberts directly about the director credit for the upcoming reboot at the top of his IMDb page and what he could tell us about the current stage of production. In addition to stating it would be a film rather than a series, he stated, "We are in active development of that at the moment. I pitched them a take and they really loved it. So we are just gearing up on that as we speak, really. I'm in the office all the time there. So yeah, it's great. It's going to be super scary. It's super scary. It's super, super scary. And it's just getting back to the roots of the game. I think at the moment, I'm not really allowed to say much more than that, but it's going to be a lot of fun. In many people's minds, Resident Evil will always be an action film franchise starring Mila Jovovich and featuring lunatic action and absurd plots that increase in intensity with each film. However, the property started out in a much more subdued fashion in 1996 as a survival horror game for the PlayStation, and one so successful it came to codify the subgenre. Its story saw Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, both of whom were featured in the films, who were members of a police special ops team, STARS. Together, they investigate a series of gruesome murders in the mountains surrounding a Midwestern city and find themselves trapped in a zombie-infested mansion. The game's emphasis was on tactics and planning rather than wading into every fight with guns blazing, as ammunition was scarce and limited. There was also a puzzle-solving element that made you think as well as fight. Robert's description of getting back to the roots of the game would suggest that instead of being another hyperkinetic action movie, it will take inspiration from the initial game installment where everything was designed to scare you and make you feel tense. Such was the emotional shredding inflicted upon young 90s players by the game. Many of them refused to play it alone or at night. If Roberts can recreate and invoke that kind of primal fear in his Resident Evil, it would become a true horror and one that may surpass the overblown franchise in acclaim and popularity. Matt, did you ever watch any of the Resident Evil?
I believe I've watched them all, but the last one, I'll admit, I'm a sucker for bad movies like that. I really kind of enjoyed the first two, especially. They kind of like really got really bad after that, but I enjoy watching Mila Jovovich kill zombies and get a little crazy. It's all fun stuff for me. But I like a lot of bad movies. I like Underworld. I like Pacific Rim. Lots of other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why we're friends.
They are what they are. It's like they're not like bad movies trying to be good movies. They're bad movies, and they know they're bad movies. And I think the filmmakers kind of embrace that. So, and that makes it okay.
Well, My biggest problem was that they were nothing like the games.
No.
It's Resident Evil in name only. Like they pulled kind of characters and creatures from the games, but they never really tried to be like the games. They were, like it said in the article, Paul W.S. Anderson basically made them action movies, big action adventure movies with horror elements in them, but none of it was ever actually scary. It was just kind of like weird.
Yeah, I think I played the game briefly. It was a long time ago. I know I haven't ever played it since the first one came out, but I don't remember finishing it or anything like that. But
well, I like the idea that in a reboot, they're going to be getting back to the basics. They're going to try and make it scary. They're going to try and make it creepy. And the guy they got to direct it, he's an actual horror director as opposed to Paul W.S. Anderson, who is more of an action guy, I guess. So I'm hopeful for this. Like, the 47 Meters Down movie, I don't know if you ever saw those. They're pretty tense. They're very simple, very low budget. So if this guy can actually pull it off, I say.
Are those shark movies?
Yeah, they're shark movies.
Yeah, okay. I think I've seen a few clips of those, but yeah.
Yeah, and Mladen Kulik says, I enjoyed the first 3 Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't. I thought they were so dumb.
They were. You're right.
They were not in the enjoyable way for me, anyway. Sometimes dumb movies can be enjoyable, like Venom, but this one not so much. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. And remember, if you want to support the channel, please check us out on the socials. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matthew Kadish. You can also find our discussion group over on Facebook at eggfbgroup.com. That's eggfbgroup.com. Takes you right to our Facebook discussion group. And if you'd like to help support the channel, check out my books over on Amazon.com. You can find them by going to kadishbooks.com. That's Kadish books.com. And as always, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time we upload a new video for more movie, TV, and entertainment news and analysis. This is Matthew Kadish. I'll catch you guys later.